Today I will walk you through how to use TelSpanWeb. We will cover how to log in, create your meeting, share your presentation, and highlight some additional features along the way. To begin, I want to show you how to log in. This is the first page you'll see as you click on the link to log into your account. All you have to do is simply type in your username and password and select the login button. This will take you to the main page where it says, Welcome to TelSpan. Now the first thing I want to show you while we're in the Account Center is the branding options that are available to you within your account. Up here at the top right, we have the Welcome option. I'm going to go ahead and click that and select Branding from the drop-down menu. Here you can select different logos that you can put in. You can choose your own logo and place it into your account here and easily customize the look and feel of your account, whether that's on the Account Center or the live meeting. You have the login page that people will see as they log into your session, the Account Center, which is up here at the top left, and there are several other options available where you can choose to put your logo or leave as the TelSpan default. Scrolling down a little bit further, you'll see a couple of options for redirect URLs that you can place into your account. This is where you can redirect your users to a specific website at the end of your meeting. For example, to a survey tool, or if you want, you can send them to a page on your website to promote future webinars. You simply have to enter the web address you want to send them to in these fields. Later on, I'll show you the proper way to end the meeting and redirect your guests. One other important field to point out here is the lobby text. If you enable the lobby feature for your meeting, audience members will temporarily be placed there until you can allow them into your session. You can edit the text in this field and put in your own message that users will see as they await entry. Before leaving the page, scroll all the way down to the bottom and click the Update button to save your changes. Next, I'll show you how to set up and launch a new meeting. Let's go ahead and click on the dashboard on the left-hand side to take us back to the main page. One way you can quickly start a new meeting is by clicking the Meet Now button at the top of the dashboard screen. This is a great feature to use if you would like to start an instant meeting without having to go through the setup process. Once logged in, you can use the invitation tool within the session to invite your participants to the meeting you've just opened. The Meet Now button is best used for one-on-one sessions with another person or to simply get logged into a session to access your content library. Clicking on this button will always create a new session and will not open an existing meeting that you've already created. Now, if you want to schedule a future presentation, go ahead and click on the New Meeting button here at the top. This will open up all the options we need to create a new meeting. Go ahead and enter in a title here in the topic field. I'll just write Training for today. Below this, we'll enter the start date and time. This can be for any future date. Do note that this setup is in military time, so if you're scheduling an afternoon or evening appointment, be sure to select the correct time. For example, I'll select 13 for a 1 p.m. meeting. You can also go ahead and adjust the duration. This is primarily used to give your attendees an idea of how long the meeting is scheduled to last. The meeting will not end or kick users off at that time. As long as users are still connected, the session will remain open. Just below the date and time, we have the option for a password. The password is entirely optional. You do not need to set up one if you do not want one. If you do choose to utilize a password, you can simply type something into this field, or you can select the Generate button to the right to have the system automatically create a unique password for your meeting. If using a password, just be sure to distribute it to your audience so that they're able to join your meeting. I'm going to leave this field blank for now. To the right of the password field, you'll see an option for a friendly URL. The URL right here references the account that we are currently in, but is not the full address for the friendly URL. You can type something into the text field here to customize for your specific meeting, and this full URL is what you'll send to your participants. This is one way to invite participants to your meeting if you want to use your own email or perhaps a calendar reminder. It's a general link that everyone can use at the same time to log into your meeting. I'll go ahead and type something in here, and it'll populate at the end of the address. I can then click Copy to Clipboard to get the entire friendly URL that I'll distribute. After I've finished making my adjustments and I'm happy with the changes I've made, I can click Save at the bottom right. It's going to take me back to the schedule page. If I ever need to get back to this page and view my upcoming meetings, I can click Schedule on the left-hand side. To quickly grab that friendly URL again, I can simply right-click on the meeting title here and select the Copy Link address. Depending on which browser you're using, Chrome, Firefox, or Edge, it may say Copy, Copy Shortcut, or Copy Link Location. Once you have the link, you can paste it into your email or post it onto your website, and all attendees can use it to join. I can also edit any meeting at any point by going to the Schedule page, hovering my mouse over the meeting I want to edit, and clicking the first icon for Edit Meeting. I'll go ahead and drop down those different options to select from, and I can edit things on my meeting if I need to. Additionally, you do have another way to invite participants to your meeting. If you don't want to send out that general link, if you want to send the invites through our system, you can select the Invite Participants option down below. You'll see a few new boxes pop up. To invite somebody to your meeting, simply put their first name, last name, and email address into the appropriate fields. To demonstrate this, I'll go ahead and invite my colleague Olivia to the meeting. As you can see, it references my address book. Since I've already added Olivia to a previous meeting, the system remembers her name, and I can simply click her name to automatically fill out those fields for me. I can also access my entire address book by clicking on this plus sign here, and I can then easily pick people from my address book to add. I can also change the Add To option to designate how I want each participant to join the meeting. If you're inviting someone who will be presenting and you want them to have control of your presentation slides, share their screen, or be visible on camera, you'll want to select Speakers from the drop-down menu before clicking Add. Speakers will have full shared control over the session, and you are limited to a maximum of 8 speakers in your meeting, and that does include the account holder. I'll go ahead and add Olivia as a speaker to my meeting, and you'll now see her name populate in the box below Speakers. If you want to change an individual's role in the meeting, you'll have to remove them from one list by clicking the X button next to their name and then re-adding them with the appropriate role. Once I have everybody invited to my meeting that I want, I can click Save at the bottom right. It'll ask me if I want to send out those invitations. If I want to send them now to everyone, I can keep the selection where it's at for Send Invitation Email to all users. Otherwise, I can choose to send the invites only to the new people I've added or elect to send no invitations at all. Once I've made my selection and click Save, the invites will automatically be sent out. This will take me back to the schedule page, and as you can see, it says everything was successfully updated. Next, I'll show you how to log into the meeting you just created as the host. Go ahead and click on Dashboard on the left-hand side. It'll take us back to the main page here. This is what you'll do on the day of your webinar. When you first log into your account, the dashboard page is the first page you'll see in the Account Center. In the middle of the screen, under Sessions, you'll see the upcoming meetings that you've created. To join the meeting as the host, simply click on the title. As soon as you join, you'll see a pop-up window asking about your microphone and camera. Now, if you've dialed in on your phone and are not using a webcam, you can simply click the button here for Just Listen. If you'll be broadcasting your audio from a computer microphone, be sure you have the correct microphone selected. These bars below measure your audio input. You can confirm that your microphone is working and test your audio input if you see the bars moving as you speak. If you're just doing audio through your computer microphone but not using a webcam, select the Turn on Microphone button. If you'll also be using your webcam in the session, be sure you have the correct camera selected from the drop-down menu as well. You should then see a preview displayed of what your camera is picking up. Make adjustments as needed, and when you're ready, select the Turn on Microphone and Camera option. You're now in the session. If you've turned your camera on, you should see yourself on the screen. If you need to turn on or turn off your camera or microphone once you're in the session, you can easily do so by clicking the appropriate icon at the top of the left-hand toolbar. If you need to change which microphone or camera you have selected, first, turn off the device you're currently using by clicking the appropriate icon up here, and then click on the Settings button at the bottom of that toolbar, and then Video and Audio. Once again, you'll see the options for selecting your inputs. You can change your microphone or camera by selecting it from the drop-down and clicking Apply. Finally, turn the device back on by clicking the icon at the top of the toolbar. One of the first things you'll likely want to do is bring up your presentation materials that you'll be using in the meeting. This will be done by first opening up your content library, which is this icon here on the left-hand toolbar. To upload documents, click on Create New. You'll see a few options available. The first is to create a new folder, which can be helpful to organize your documents by a particular date or meeting. I'll go ahead and create one now. The option for Upload File is used to bring in a document, such as a PDF, PowerPoint, Word, or Excel spreadsheet that you have saved on your computer. I'll simply locate the file I want and then click Open. It'll take a moment to go through the conversion process, and then I can click Done. You'll now see the document populate into your library, and we can move this into the folder we just created by clicking the icon here to the right, selecting Move To, and then selecting the folder we wish to place it into. I'll click Move, and then if we open that folder, we'll see the document is now there. To display it into the session, I'll just double-click the title. With a PowerPoint, you'll see some helpful toolbars on either side of the presentation. On the left, we can see a preview of our slides. You can advance slides by clicking the slide you want or by using the forward and back keys on your keyboard. You can click this arrow up here if you want to hide this preview. On the right-hand side, we have some whiteboard options available if you'd like to overlay some text or circle important information on your slides. Similarly, this tool can be hidden by clicking the arrow up here. Another commonly used resource that you may want to incorporate into your session is a video. If you have the video file saved to your computer, you'll upload it in the same way we did with the PowerPoint, by clicking Create New and then Upload File. However, if the video you want to share is on YouTube, you can select the option for Add YouTube Video. You'll just paste the link into the text field here and click Add. You may have also noticed in the Content Library panel the option for polls. We will cover how to set up and utilize the polling feature in a separate video. An additional tool that you may want to utilize in your session is the screen sharing function. This is a great tool to use if you're trying to demonstrate a live website. To initiate screen sharing, click on the screen share icon here on the left-hand toolbar. You'll see a few options pop up asking if you want to share your entire screen, a certain application window, or if you're using Chrome, an option for a specific Chrome tab. I'll go ahead and select one of my tabs and click Share. Participants are now seeing my screen as indicated by this notification up here. When I'm done sharing my screen, I'll simply click the screen sharing button from the left-hand menu again to stop. In addition to the various content sources we can utilize in our meeting, we have some tools available to help communicate with your audience. On the left-hand toolbar, we have options for participants, conversations, and questions and answers. Let's check out the participants panel first. Clicking this icon will bring up a list of our current attendees. You'll see it's divided between two groups, speakers and audience. If you need to give an audience member additional privileges, click the icon to the right of their name. You can then promote them to a speaker, granting them the ability to share their webcam, screen share, advanced slides, etc. Or you can limit the additional power they have. Giving them broadcast permission allows them to share their webcam and microphone. If you select Give Presentation Permission, they'll have the ability to advance slides and screen share. If needed, you can even remove an attendee from your session. One other very important thing I want to point out in this little padlock icon at the top of the participants panel. If you enabled the lobby when you created the session, audience members will first be placed into this virtual waiting room before they can access your session. Users currently in the lobby will show up in this section right here. You can individually move them by clicking the icon to the right of their name and selecting Allow into Room. Additionally, you can click this icon here to move all users from the lobby into the session. Be aware, doing this will bring in your entire audience that is currently waiting, but does not close the lobby, and any future attendees who try to join will still go into that waiting area. If you're starting the webinar and want to close the lobby altogether, click the padlock icon again and click the Disable button. This will ensure that anyone who joins the meeting late will bypass the waiting area and come directly into your meeting. Next, let's take a look at the Conversations panel, which is this icon right here. This is a great tool for communicating with your audience, and it works just like a basic instant messenger. If I want to deliver a message to everyone in the session, I'll just come down to the bottom of the panel where it says type your message here, enter my text, and click enter. The message goes out to everyone, and all attendees are able to chat here as well. If I want to send a message that's only visible to the other speakers, I'll click this arrow up here and choose speakers, and then whatever I type is only visible to those individuals. Similarly, I can send a private chat to an individual by selecting their name from the list. You can navigate between the different chat threads by selecting the appropriate group or individual. If there's a new chat in a thread you aren't currently viewing, you'll see a little icon pop up notifying you that there's a new message in that thread. If you want to clear the chat or send a transcript of the text, click this icon up here at the top of the panel and make the appropriate selection. Please note, it will only clear the chat or send the history of the thread you are currently viewing. The question and answer panel is also over here and can be used for your audience to privately submit questions to the speakers. We'll cover this more in depth in a separate video. So I've shown you how to bring in your different content sources, such as webcam, screen share, and PowerPoint, in addition to displaying the other panels, participants, and conversations. Now I want to show you how to arrange all those different components on the screen. You'll see this layout icon down in the bottom right, which allows you to quickly select some preset layouts. This option here is for full screen, and this is the default layout when you join the session. This prominently displays one content source at a time. If you or your audience wants to change content source you're viewing, you can click on one of the other thumbnails down here to enlarge it on your screen. The second option here is tiled, and this puts all content sources up at once. Once they're on the screen, you can customize their size and location, moving things around to better suit your needs. To move the boxes, scoot your mouse towards the top of the box you want to move, and you'll see the cursor change to a 4-directional arrow, and then you can click and drag. To resize, move your mouse towards the border until you see it change, and then click and drag. The third option is thumbnail and puts up all content sources on the screen but leaves your own personal webcam as a small thumbnail in the bottom right corner. This particular view is especially useful for video conferences where you may want to save screen space by keeping your own video small. These different layouts are available to all attendees, so they can each customize the appearance to best suit their needs. I should also point out that the left-hand panels are not included in the different saved layouts. For example, if an attendee wants to chat in the Conversations panel, they will need to click on the tab over here themselves to bring it up. You may find that you want to control the layout for everyone so that all attendees are viewing the exact same screen as you. To do that, we'll hover down here on the Layout button and select the far left option for Layout Mode. Now, you can rearrange and resize the content sources on your screen. Once you're satisfied with their arrangement, feel free to bring in the panels as well. We can bring in the Participants and Conversations panel, and again we can resize them to our liking. Once you're completely satisfied with the arrangement, come down here and click on the Apply Layout button. The layout is now fixed, including all content sources and panels for all attendees in the session. Audience members can no longer rearrange things or select different views on their computer. If you want to make further adjustments to the layout, feel free to drag and resize as necessary. Just be sure to click Apply Layout once you're done. The attendees will not see you making the adjustments. They only go into effect once you click Apply. Click Cancel if you want to disregard the changes and go back to the layout you've already applied. If you click Exit Layout Mode, attendees are no longer bound by the layout you created. They can go back to adjusting and resizing things themselves. If in your meeting you'll be broadcasting audio from a phone conference, rather than audio from your computer microphone, you will need to manually connect the integration line that joins your audio and web session. To do so, click on the SIP Settings button from the left-hand toolbar. If you do not see this option, then your meeting is not currently set up to allow for it. You will need to close the session, return to the dashboard, and edit the meeting. In the Audio and Video tab, you'll see a few options for session audio. Be sure to select Hybrid Audio, VoIP and Phone, and then save and relaunch your session. We'll see a couple of options after selecting the SIP settings. To confirm the number and conference code the system will connect to, click on Dial in Information. Select the box for I will dial in using my phone to display the access number and PIN code. If the information listed is not correct, please contact us and we will quickly update it to the correct information. To establish the connection, click Manage Connection and then Connect. In just a moment, the audio from your phone conference will begin playing through your computer speakers. Finally, the last thing you may want to do before beginning your presentation is start a recording. Launching the recording is very easy in the platform. Simply click the recording button from the left-hand toolbar. You'll briefly see a message stating, "Please wait, starting recording," as it initializes, and once it's ready, you'll see the top of the toolbar turn red. To stop the recording, you can click that recording button again, or it will automatically end when you close the presentation. Once your presentation is ended, click on Leave End Session from the top of the left-hand toolbar. There are a few options here. You can choose to disconnect audience users, which will disconnect the attendees but leave the speakers in the session. You may want to do this if you're wanting to have a post call with the other presenters, or perhaps if you need to go back and export the chat history. Selecting Leave Session will exit yourself from the presentation, but will leave all other users connected. Most likely, you'll want to click on End Session and then confirm that you want to end the session. This not only disconnects all users, but will also automatically redirect them to the predefined external URLs that we have set up in the branding page of your Account Center, such as to the survey tool. Next, I'll show you a couple of features available following the presentation. First, let's get this recording we just captured. Back in your Account Center, click on the Recordings tab. You'll see a list displaying all the recordings you've captured in your account, listed by date and time. To get the link to send out to everyone for the online recording, simply right-click the title and select the Copy Link Address option. You can then paste that link into an email or perhaps post it onto your website. Users simply need to click the link to view the recording in their web browser. One fantastic new feature available is the option to convert the recording to an MP4 file. To do so, hover your mouse over the title and click on the green icon that says Recording is ready for download. The file will automatically download and can be retrieved from the Downloads folder on your computer. If you'd like to edit the title or description of the recording, hover over the title and click on the Edit button. Here you can edit the text and click Save when you're satisfied. And finally, you can delete the recording by clicking the X button. The last thing I want to show you today is how to get reports from your session. First, we'll select the Usage Statistics option from the left-hand menu. It's going to display a graph that shows the recent activity on your account, as well as give you the option to export the data to a CSV or Excel spreadsheet. Up here, you can select whether to provide detailed information for the past 30, 60, 90, or 180 days. So that wraps up everything I wanted to cover with you in today's TelSpanWeb training. If you have any additional questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us at webhelp@telspan.com. Thank you so much for taking the time to view this tutorial today, and thank you for allowing TelSpan to serve you.